Hi, this is Cindy Kendall, and we are about to release the 2017 Iowa Handbook for City Clerks and Finance Officers. We thought we'd create this video to help you get to know how to get the most out of your manual. But first of all, let's get to some basics. Number one, how do you order? The first thing you're going to want to do is to sign on to the Iowa League of Cities website, go under Membership Services, and then you'll see a link to the City Clerk Finance Officer's Handbook. From there, you'll be able to order your handbook. You can get it in two different ways. You can get the hard copy, which is 103 pages in a 3-ring binder that we will mail to you. And that will also entitle you to all of the electronic resources that we're going to describe later on in this video. If you only want the electronic version, you can save yourself half the fee. Instead of $40 for the hard copy, it would only be $20. And again, you will have all of the electronic resources that we're going to talk about through this video. Let's get to those basics. As you know, or maybe you're new to the industry, city governments in Iowa are governed by the Iowa Code and the Iowa Administrative Code. And in order to get around the different code chapters that tell us how we have to do our jobs, we have to understand the structure or the hierarchy of the Iowa Code. First of all, we're going to talk about code chapters. That's going to be after the law has been passed by the legislature. In each of those chapters, you may have sections. We're looking at the 13th section of the Code Chapter 372. Beyond that, you may have other subsections that you're going to be looking for. And beyond that, you could have paragraphs or subparagraphs. The Iowa Administrative Code also has a jurisdiction over us. It's also kind of a law because the state departments are given authority by the legislature to create rules to carry out that legislation. And when those rules are adopted, then that will make up the administrative code. So you have to take the administrative code hand in hand with the Iowa Code to understand what all our responsibilities are. The third segment, which I do not address very much in the manual, is the court rulings that may pertain to a particular section of the code or administrative code that has been challenged in court. And when the court makes a ruling, then that ruling will stand as law also. With that, we will go on and look at some of the tools that are in the manual. This is the PDF of the manual that you'll be accessing if you are purchasing the hard copy or if you're just purchasing the electronic copy. The PDF will be provided to you when you sign on to the Iowa League of Cities website. But let's look at what's in this particular manual. The first thing that we're coming to is the table of contents. If you see something in the table of contents that you want to go to, all you have to do is use your pointer and you'll be able to go directly to that particular chapter or to that particular page. So we'll demonstrate this here. We just jumped right to page 23. Within each of the pages, you can also see that you have a pointer finger with a W in it that will take you directly to each of the code chapters that we are referring to. In this particular instance, it's chapter 380.7. So by clicking on that, you can see that we are going to zap you right to chapter 380. You can see that you need to just scroll down to see 380.7 where we discuss what the city clerk is responsible for doing. Then all you have to do is close that window and that will take you right back into the manual. Now I'm going to go back to the table of contents and see that I can also go by scrolling down to what is called the appendix, which is in alphabetical order. Now the appendix can be accessed either here on page 9 and 10 or as part of the text within each of the individual chapters. So for example, let's go and see what the annual financial training video might look like. Click on that cursor, then you'll see that it will take you right to the YouTube videos of the annual financial report so that you can listen to whatever part of the training that you would wish. And there are a number of different videos that we have added to this year's version of the manual. There are other things like a depository resolution sample. You can see that this is a Word document, and you'll see that it will download the document to your particular computer so that you can open it and you can modify it to be customized for your community. Be sure to have all resolutions reviewed by the city attorney, and those are all tools that are available to you. There are some tools that are Excel spreadsheets, others are Word documents. Majority of these documents that are in the appendix are PDFs, and again, those PDFs will actually take you right to the document. This one happens to be a link that went to the Department of Revenue. We're taking you right to the place where you need to be. You don't have to say, well, I need to find the Department of Revenue and then I need to be able to find the application. We're zapping you right there, trying to make this more efficient for you. Again, those are all things that are not only in the appendix, but they're also in the text. So if you're reading through the text, then you can see that that is going to be something that it will take you directly to that table. There are certain pages, I'll go to one of my samples here, whereby you're going to be directed to a certain website. And again, you can see that we're pointing at that website. It tells us which one we're going to. And once we're going there, you have to be up on the internet. But there are times that it may ask if you want to give permission to go to this particular website. Otherwise, it will take you directly to that particular website. The other way of looking for something, if you want to do a Control F, you can see in your Adobe that it will allow you to look for it by hitting a chapter number. Now you want to be careful with this one because remember that it will act as if there's all the chapters in the entire book. So chapter 2 is one that is coming up right now, but it'll also bring up chapter 22 of the code and so forth through the manual. So you'll want to be careful when you use this particular sort or search tool. So with that, we hope that you have a wonderful time using the manual, and if you have any suggestions, be sure to give us an email or a call and we'll see if we can get that into the next version.